just deciphered that this is episode 17 of the work. Congratulations, Greg. You are now a podcaster. Most podcasts in all podcast players, like on iTunes, have less than 3 episodes.
Oh, dang.
We're at 17.
I like
so you're like a bona fide podcaster now.
17 is a special number because that's my birthday in September.
In September?
17th, yep.
I like the number 7 for whatever reason. Like that is like, I typically do things in increments of 7.
That's weird.
I know. I don't know.
Most people would be, that would flare my OCD. It needs to be an even number.
See, I have really bad OCD. And
you still stick to 7?
Or 9.
Odd number?
Or 9.
Why?
Like when I do push-ups, I'll do 79 push-ups. Yeah, I'm weird.
No. Okay, so let's say you have a carton of eggs.
Mm-hmm.
And you take several out and make something to eat. How many do you leave in there?
0.
That's an even number. All right. Well, I posted something online the other day that's like your OCD. My OCD flares up when I have an odd number of eggs left in a carton because you can't like balance the design. You can't balance how they are in there from either left to right or front to back or whatever when you have an odd number in there. So you have to if there's 3 in there, I have to stagger them a weird way. If there's 4 in there, it's easy. 6 is easy. 8,
I ate a lot of eggs.
Anyways, yeah, I know.
I've been getting a lot of eggs. Chip's been giving me eggs, and then Crystal's been getting eggs from another local person. That one egg that you showed me the other day, Chip, that big one, I gave that one to Diesel. It's definitely a double yolker.
Was it?
A big old juicy egg.
Yeah.
But
That chicken has a flared butt. That was a big egg.
That was a big egg. I'm going to get chickens here soon. Clancy is selling like 8 of his, I think. And we painted the chicken coop last weekend, the inside of it. Mm-hmm. So now we're going to get chickens. And I'll have my own eggs.
What are you going to do with Diesel, though? Because wasn't he the culprit last year? Or last time?
That was before he went to training. So I think we could put his collar on now and probably train him not to mess with the chickens. I think he would be able to be receptive to that. But also, I'm going to have a chicken poultry electric fence surrounding the chicken yard. So that would also keep him out.
Yeah.
Good deal. That'll be good. But we'll start small with only 8 chickens. 8 chickens will probably get 6 or 7 eggs a day. Plus, we've already got and getting from Chip. I mean, I normally eat 12 eggs a day. Yeah. Pretty typical. Nice. Gaston. I'm like Gaston.
I got a lady in town here that gives me pastured eggs for $3 a dozen. That's just insane.
I saw somebody post that they had the alfresco eggs at Whole Foods, and it was I don't know if it was real or not, but it was $16.99.
Oh, they're crazy. Yeah, if you try to get decent regenerative, pastured, all the buzzwords, you're $10+ a dozen. It's crazy.
That is wild. I don't mind paying it if I know that it's done right, but when you're getting anything in a supermarket, you don't really know.
You don't know.
Right.
You don't.
Probably not.
No.
Probably not. So what are we going to dive into today, man? So we got the Rocktown Naturals competition coming up this weekend.
Yep, Saturday we're going to go to that, but you're going to take part in that.
That was totally unintended. So we're sponsoring it. Keto Brick's sponsoring it. So we were going to have a booth for that reason, but I didn't even know if I was going to go because we just had a baby.
And it's a little ways away. It's a couple hours.
It's 3 hours away.
Yep.
But my granny's got a birthday this Thursday, tomorrow, I guess. So I've got to go spend time with all of them. They're doing a family reunion get together for her at my folks' house on Saturday night or afternoon. So I'll go to Rocktown with you Saturday. You'll come back. I'll stay the night there, spend time with the family, come back Sunday. So I told them, hey, we'll go ahead and have a booth. And then coincidentally, 2 of their judges dropped out last minute. So I'm like, well, I can be a judge if you need me to because I'm a certified judge. Mm-hmm. And they're like, great, we'll use you. And then they asked if I could head judge. And I'm like, I've never head judged before, so probably don't want to do that. And they're like, well, our MC is a head judge, so he could be the head judge and you could take over the MC spot. And I've never MC'd before either, but I've talked a lot on podcasts and whatnot, so
there you go.
Should roll with it.
So you're going to be MCing a natural bodybuilding competition.
Yeah, and they're going to give me all the talking points because there's not that many competitors, but I'll be the one reading out the bios and introducing people and everything. So it should be pretty straightforward. So yeah, it'll be fun. I'm excited.
Yeah, you'll be fine because you're used to the environment. You know how shows go. And
yeah. And you'll be rocking the booth, so
I'll rock the booth. Mm-hmm.
Excited about that, and hopefully we'll drum up some new competitors for our show in September.
Yeah,
because we need them. The more, the merrier.
Yes, we do. So if you guys know anybody. Natural competitor trying to get into a WNBF show, September 27th, Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah,
it's the one.
We're going to do a deep dive on competition stuff tomorrow, but we're going to work on some promotional efforts, such as, I don't have all the details ironed out yet, but we're going to try and do like a little giveaway every single week until the show, of which we're like 10 weeks out now, 9 weeks out now. And we'll pick a random winner from all the registrants each week leading up to the show to get a little, preliminary swag bag or something.
Yep.
So that'll be cool. I'm excited about that. We got some pretty cool keto brick stuff in the works, but I don't want to talk about that until next week's work podcast as we get a little closer. But that's exciting. We've been hammering away at that. All kinds of good stuff.
We've been restocking.
Primal Fudge is still in stock.
Yep.
Made a bunch of those. What are we making? We're making malt next week. That one's going to go back in stock. And then we're going to make more peanut butter Hallelujah.
Yep.
So that's good.
We just made a bunch of Bell's Brownie this week.
We got a new flavor that don't anybody hold your breath on because it's going to be a little bit further out, but it's a brand spanking new flavor.
New. We don't even have one close to it.
No, it's totally unique. But we got the film proof for the packaging design. And we're going to approve that today.
And that's totally unique. Yeah, that's going to stand out. Remember when we came out with Cake Pop and it was totally bright different. White?
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is just refreshing. Well, this is going to be...
I will tease this. So the design of the package, we're going with a pink theme on this one. So not really savage.
But not all pink. It's kind of like a light... Do we even...
It's not all pink.
Yeah, it's not all pink.
The highlights are pink.
Yeah, some of the imagery is pink. Some of the highlights. We'll just leave it like
It'll
that.
Be good. We'll talk about it.
You guys can guess. Guess what you think the flavor's going to be.
Guess what you think the flavor's going to be. Let us know in the comments. By the way, we got a bunch of good feedback on the podcast AMA that we did, where you were reading off questions and I was just improvising the answers.
I think that format was well received. So
we'll do that again.
Keep that in mind.
And just for reference. Anybody that listens to this, if you submit questions, we'll compile those. And we shipped everybody whose questions we used free bricks. So, you got nothing to lose.
And that was like 8 people.
Yeah, it was 8 questions.
Yep.
And that was cool because I like just thinking off the cuff and, going deep on something. So that was good. I like the format.
Yeah.
You and I are both doing high fat this week because I had done that 2-week experiment with the FGF21, saw positive results hormonally and metabolically, and we decided to do the same thing for you for a week. So you were basically at the depth of your cut, 1,700 calories, 1,690.
Yep.
Pretty low for you.
Yep.
So we're doing a week of 4-to-1, less than 9% of calories coming from protein. We got you at 2,500 calories this week, I believe.
Yeah, I'm just going to double check it. I think it's 2,550 or something like that.
Yeah, 2,550. So we'll do that for a week. You're doing cod liver like I was. Whole goal being improve hormone function, increase testosterone, and improve metabolic rate. And it's only Wednesday at the time of this recording, but you're already feeling a lot warmer.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a pretty good
time.
indicator of increased metabolic rate. And then after this week, we'll drop you down to like 2,200 probably. So significantly higher than the 1,700 that you were at, and that'll give us more caloric runway from which to taper until your next show in September. So that'll be good. I think that's going to be a good way to elongate a prep in a healthy manner.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you look at it or think about it visually, it's like you're on a stairwell and you take 2 steps up for a week, and then you can take 1 step back down.
Yeah.
So you're starting off a little bit higher on the outside of that week.
Exactly.
So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Saturday will be the last day of the high fat, and then Sunday, whatever we decide my macros will be for next week, instead of initiating those on Monday, which is typically what happens, I'll just kickstart them one day early on Sunday.
Yeah. But so far, you've got a little bit more bloat because you're having a little bit more fiber to kind of soak up the fat.
It's been honestly, it's probably been a decade since I've done much with cauliflower rice. And that's what I've been having 2 to 2.5 servings of with the cod liver. So just crack it into a pan, just like you were eating. Crack it into a cast iron or a pan. The cod
Tastes
liver.
pretty good though.
And it's super good. In fact, I'm probably going to keep eating it. I might not do it with the cauliflower rice or anything, but stir that all up in there, a ton of salt, crack an egg, stir in some sauce. You're good to go.
I need to buy more cod liver because I'm maybe short for this whole week.
Oh, I got some. I just got a
some?
dozen from Amazon.
Well, I'll order some, but if I'm short before it gets here, I may steal one from you temporarily.
How many you need? Because I can grab you one tomorrow.
I think I've got 4 left, 3 or 4 left.
Okay.
So I'll be short a little bit.
Well, I ordered a dozen on Amazon, and they came the next day.
Yeah. Well, I'll order some today, and they should be here.
I bet you they'll be here tomorrow.
So that'll be good.
Yep.
Interestingly enough, you and I were training at J Street on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing legs with your buddy Gary. We slammed legs. We did 60,000 pounds of volume. Yeah. We only did 3 exercises.
I know.
We
did 4.
I guess counting calves, we did 4.
We did 4.
Leg press, and then we did vertical.
Heavy on leg press.
Yeah, heavy on leg press. Then we did vertical reverse hack squat for like an RDL or good morning. And then
quad extension.
Yeah, quad extension. That was it.
And then donkey calves. Yeah.
But we were there for nearly 2 hours.
Yeah, it was a long one.
And y'all were there earlier because y'all were doing Stairmaster. So pretty good leg day.
Yeah.
Haven't done a dedicated leg day in a while, but that felt good. But interestingly enough, while we were there, we were talking to people, because that's definitely like a bodybuilding style gym.
I love that gym.
It's a good gym. And we were talking to people who were like, hey, if you know anybody for the show, let us know. September 27th, bring them on. If you know any clients, if you got any clients, if you know anybody interested in competing. And like we would say natural, and they'd be like, automatically, oh, that rules out everybody we know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like we were talking to people. I mean, they had impressive physiques, but like they weren't. I mean, they were all females too. That's the weird thing. Like they were females that were impressive, but they weren't like Olympia level by any means.
You wouldn't assume they were an unnatural.
Yeah, that's it. You wouldn't assume they were not. And they looked totally attainable
Absolutely.
naturally.
Oh yeah, they looked good,
but they weren't.
But they may be unnatural for reasons outside of performance enhancing.
True. Totally true. Valid point.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy that like they know so many people that would be interested in competing, but the moment we say they got to be natural, it like, oh, we don't know anybody.
Yep.
It's like, so that just kind of speaks to the popularity of taking drugs in the sport, which is unfortunate, but it's the reality we live in.
That same day, actually, before you got there, I was chatting with another competitor or somebody who had done competitions in the past, and her coach at the time was a huge advocate of PEDs and was pushing it and pushing it and pushing it because her hormones were maybe lower than what he was expecting or kind of athlete he works with, and he was super pushy. So she was saying that she bucked back and she was like, no, that goes against what I want to do. I don't, I'm firing you as a coach. This is not the way I want to do things. So maybe that is kind of why some of these athletes are no longer natural, is because there's so many coaches that are out there pushing that. And, I've seen several people post this week, last week, whatever. It's peak week for a lot of athletes right now. And we're going to the Rocktown Naturals on Saturday. So there's obviously some athletes in peak week for that. And I've reached out to several of them and just shoot them a quick little DM or comment on something that they're posting online and just say, hey, which show are you doing? And everyone that I've connected with is doing the other one, the NPC show this weekend.
Yeah.
And that's a non-natural show. And it's like, why is everyone so non-natural? Well,
I definitely think the coaches are to blame for a lot of it because, I mean, I've heard horror stories of clients that are working with me that came my way because they were pushed towards drugs from their prior coach. And it's like, this is them doing their first show oftentimes. Like their coaches are pushing drugs on their first show. So it's not like they're depending on it for their livelihood, for their business, like for any of that. They're just doing it as a hobby. And they're like pushing drugs on them, like young girls. And it's like, there's some pretty,
it's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate because you're impressionable.
Yeah.
To crazy extent. If I would have thought back to my very first prep when I didn't know a damn thing about anything, didn't know how to even weigh food, and I hired a coach, and if he would have been like, yeah, this is what we need to do, you need to buy this, you need to order this, we're going to inject this, or do whatever, like we're going to cycle these things and that thing, I probably would have said yeah. Because I was like, okay, you're the pro, you have got all these physiques behind you that have won pro cards and trophies and blasted shows. And whatever they're doing obviously is working. You know what you're doing, whatever you're doing with your athletes. I probably would have been susceptible to being definitely down that tunnel. And I'm glad that the coach at the time, who I first reached out to and worked with for the first time ever, wasn't that kind of guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, imagine just being so moldable, impressionable, and your coach saying, "Yeah, we got it. This is what you need," and then you're screwed for the rest of your.
Yeah,
competing.
I mean, I don't have anything against people that take it. It's like
Neither do I.
I mean, I look at people that are competing at the highest level at the Olympia and the Arnold, and like that's their livelihood, and they may be signing an early death sentence for themselves, but like that's what they chose, and they're on board with it. They understand the consequences. More power to them. You know, like who am I to judge? But for like people that are just dipping their toe into the competitive world, they're totally healthy otherwise. It's like, why would a coach automatically push that as like the default? And it's super unfortunate because like you go that path, you can't really reverse or backstep that.
Yep, absolutely.
And what's unfortunate is like I used to train at a Gold's Gym in Washington when I lived there. And there was this guy that was, I mean, he was like the dealer locally for all the steroids and stuff. He was a super nice guy. Like I enjoyed talking with him. But he would come in, he was big, but like not like super shredded, like not that impressive, like very impressive, like bigger than me, but like not like, oh, he could stand up next to Ronnie Coleman and compete. Nothing like that. And he would come in, he'd train hard, he'd be all happy and jovial and happy-go-lucky. And then like a week or two would pass and he'd come back. I wouldn't see him. Then he'd come back and he would be just like super depressed, like taking antidepressants and just like distraught. And it's like you could literally time his emotions based off whether he was cycling on or cycling off, because like he would deflate, he looked smaller, and you could just tell he was so, his identity was so wrapped up in like how he looked that whenever he was cycling off, it just like depressed him.
Dang.
His hormones are constantly in a state of flux. And that's why a lot of guys never even cycle off. They just have like this, I don't even know what they call it, I don't know terminology, but like running and gunning, or that's not it. It's, I don't even know the terminology. But like they'll just stay on like a blast cycle, I think is what they call it, when they're taking more of it. And they'll just have like a cruise cycle where they're taking like lower dosage of it, but they're never cycling off because they don't want to go through that, you know, withdrawal and like deflation period. But to me, it's like, I'm an extremist. I'm like all in with everything I do. So if I did that, I wouldn't want to cycle off. I'd be like, no, I don't want to lose 20 pounds. I don't want to look less full, less vascular, less yoked. Like I just want to keep blasting. And it's like, you just, I mean, what's the point?
Then it seems like it's a never ending.
Yeah, it's never ending downward spiral.
Always chasing the carrot.
Yeah. And I feel like there's a lot of talk about TRT now, but a lot of people are on TRT that don't need to be on TRT. I was talking to my buddy yesterday, Chris, and he's on TRT now. And he and I have been friends since high school. He's not a bodybuilder. He doesn't lift. He's like same age as me. But he eats like crap.
I was just gonna say, but he eats like shit. Doesn't get sleep.
Crap,
He's
drinks
stressed.
too much. Wasn't
Yeah.
working out. Wasn't sleeping. Super stressed. He tried to own his own business. Got super stressed. So like he lost all his libido, sex drive, energy. He would wake up feeling tired. So he changed his whole diet. He's doing carnivore now. So I'm proud of him there. He's been like 3 months into carnivore. Lost a little bit of weight, but then he started doing TRT and nothing crazy. I think he's doing like 200 mils a week, or whatever. It's a pretty standard dose for TRT, but it's like, man, you could have totally negated the need for all of that if you'd just been healthy on the front end, you know?
Yep.
So, I don't know, man. It's tough.
I think, just society in general is to a point where if there's a shortcut, it's appealing to everybody.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess I shouldn't call it a shortcut. It's maybe, doesn't need to be the first option if you haven't ever tried any of the other options, you know? Fix your diet, fix your sleep, fix your stress, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. True that, man. Eat some cod liver, do a week of high fat, and see if it does doubling effect like it did for me.
I get to eat a whole entire toasted almond coconut brick today.
We're sold out of those right now.
We are sold out of those.
But we're going to be making more.
I work at the factory
in a couple weeks.
So I get one. I found one.
We got like an employee stash of all the flavors.
We do. But we also have a stash for the mystery boxes, which
we do.
If you guys have ever seen the mystery box, the Keto Brick mystery box, it's a pretty sweet deal. You get 30 bricks a month at the deepest discount, and it's randomized, and sometimes it's sold out flavors.
Oftentimes it's sold out flavors. There's not going to be any blueberry muffins in there, though. There's only one blueberry muffin in existence, and it's mine.
I would be willing to bet somebody else out there has one hidden. I had one for probably, well, what year was that blueberry muffin?
Man,
that was a couple years back.
That would have been
2 years, 3 years?
No, it was before 23, I think. I think it was
2022
maybe. Yeah.
I had one. I even moved here with it. Like I've had it for years since KetoCon. And one day I'm like, I'm going to eat this. Yeah. And it was so good.
Yeah, that is a good one. We'll bring it back, but that protein specifically, the lead time on that one is like 18 weeks. Yeah. So it's like I got a plan for producing that one, and we got some other exciting flavors.
We got a lot of other flavors in the works.
Yeah. Because I mean, before you know, this year is flying by, dude. Like it's almost August.
Well, we have flavors planned out already, almost through the end of the year.
We do. Yeah, we have flavors literally planned to the end of the year. I'm booking out podcasts in January right now.
That's crazy.
So like,
it's still middle of summer. We got to slow this thing down.
I'm booking out podcasts in January already. I got Nick Bear coming on the podcast in a couple weeks. So that'll be cool.
Heck yeah.
And then I've got, we just signed up for Meat Stock again next year. Just put the deposit down on that sponsorship.
That's Gatlinburg, Tennessee again?
It's in Tennessee again. It's a new venue, but I think it's still in Gatlinburg.
I think so.
So that'll be exciting. Meat Stock was super awesome this year. And then we'll be at Hack Your Health in December. We're not going to have a booth there, but we'll go and I'll speak and all that good stuff. Then I'm going to Tennessee again beginning of September for Low Carb for Better Health.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Speaking there.
Yep.
And then 2 weeks after that's our show. And then we also got to get a retreat plan because we did a retreat in February with Bill Schindler. And then
the second one didn't quite come together.
Yeah, the second one, the timing didn't work out. It was going to be in Washington, but that one didn't pan out. We'll probably do that one at some point in the future, but I want to do it right. And then the third quarter, it's mostly competition focused because we got that in September. But we might do like a mini retreat of sorts with that. And then we got to plan out a retreat for fourth quarter.
Yep.
So that'll be good.
Yeah.
We might do it here, Northwest Arkansas. I could do a hunting style retreat at the farm because that'll be during hunting season. I don't know. I got to figure the details out on that one. But yeah, all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah.
In the cooking.
And speaking of competition related details, we just met with Jerry yesterday, the owner and operator of the new DexaFit location here in Farmington. And we're going to have a pretty cool opportunity for all the competitors or anybody else who's in town for the competition. We're going to have an open house for the competitors at his DexaFit location Thursday evening before the comp and Friday morning before the comp. And he's going to offer 50% off DEXA scans for anybody who wants to show up and hang out and
if you get a DEXA scan at 50% off, he's going to give you a free
3D
body scan, which is pretty slick as well.
And I've never heard of any other competition doing that. That's pretty cool.
And I feel like, if you're going to a competition, you're in peak week, the day before the show, 2 days before the show is like the ideal time to get a DEXA scan because there's just fewer variables and you're peaked up.
And you're in stage conditioning. Yeah. It'd be nice to have that data. Then as you reverse back out of it, you'll have a reading.
And for your next show, you'll kind of know what you need to beat in order to look better for stepping on stage the second time. So, I'm excited about offering that. Jerry's a cool dude. I like him a lot.
Yeah, he knows his stuff. Like you can sit and talk to him for forever. Yeah. He knows the ins and outs. We're actually going to go there Thursday, because today's Wednesday, and we're going to go there and do a VO2 max.
Which I've never done before.
Me either. I'm a little scared because I don't do a lot of cardio, but
it'll be good. See, I did.
At least it'll be a baseline. Then if we do any other cardio training or hiking or whatever, we can kind of
measure against
revisit.
That.
Yeah.
I did the RMR test that he offered, and that was insightful.
Yeah.
But with that one, you're basically just chilling in a chair for 15 minutes while it calculates your resting metabolic rate.
But you're still hooked up to the same oxygen machine?
I don't know if it's the same. I think it's the same machine.
Okay.
So yeah, it should be pretty much the same setup. But then with the VO2 max, he said that you're basically going to get like a baseline for 5 minutes, and then he's going to just steadily increase the incline of the treadmill until you're going all out.
Until he says until you pretty much you tap out.
Yeah, and the whole point being to figure out your lactate threshold and basically at what point your body shifts from metabolizing fat for energy to glucose. So yeah, I'm pretty curious because like he says that, like clockwork, everybody, they're going to hit that threshold regardless. That looks different for everybody, but they're going to hit it, and the actual mirroring of it is pretty consistent across the board, where it's like predominantly fat burning, and then that drops off, and then glucose picks up.
Yep.
But what I'm curious to see is, with us both having been, fat adapted following keto for 10 plus years, I would imagine our rate of leveraging fat metabolism exists for much longer than the typical test subject. Before we go into glucose metabolism,
I think that's what's going to happen.
So
yeah,
it'd be curious. On the RMR test that I did, he said that he used me as an example because it shows on one of the screens whether you're burning predominantly fats or predominantly sugar, and it's oftentimes like a split, like 40, 60 or whatever. Most people are carb burners, and then he was like, "You're the only one I've ever tested that's 100% fat burning." So I'm like, heck yeah, that's right, man.
Well, see, in 2021, I think it was 21, when I was in prep with you, I ran several mud obstacle courses, like a Tough Mudder. One of them was I think it was a 10K, Tough Mudder. And I had no carbs prior to, and everyone else is eating carbs and gel packs and bananas and all that kind of stuff. I had Keto Brick and Redmond Relight out of the back of my car before the race. And it was so weird because we all started as a group. If you've ever done one of these, you go in waves. You start at the starting line, and then they blow the horn, and you all take off. Well, everyone takes off, and they're kind of at the same rate, and you're just kind of pacing yourself. Everyone was starting to fall off, and I felt like something in me just opened up a whole new can of gasoline, and I was able to just rip. And it was like I didn't stop. And I had no carbs. Everyone's stopping at the little things halfway through and having a banana or a granola bar or whatever, and a glass of water and stuff like that to rehydrate and get some energy. I just ran right past it. And not a single person passed me, but I felt like I passed so many people. My energy was just unhinged. It was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't do a lot of endurance work, but like when I ran that marathon, I did it totally fasted. And I never once bonked, because like, most people running marathons, like they were all getting the gel packs and goos and stuff like that, or like carb loading the night prior. And my feet were wrecked because I had went from never running to just signing up to do a marathon. So don't recommend that. But like from an energy standpoint or a fuel standpoint, I felt totally fine the whole way through.
That's crazy.
So
speaking of energy, we just kind of teamed up with a cool dude who's going to run the length of India.
Yeah.
He's a fat adapted athlete. He's going to leverage a ketogenic nutritional protocol.
Diagnosed with cancer.
He
recently.
is a terminal cancer survivor. I do believe he's got a brain tumor. His story is absolutely phenomenal. And he's setting out to run from the very northernmost tip of India to the most southernmost tip for 80 days. And he's going to run however many miles or kilometers per day. And we're going to supply him bricks to make that happen. So we're pretty stoked about that. He's going to probably hop on your podcast.
Yeah, I'm going to give him the podcast pre and post run. I want to kind of just hear the whole story, because you've been interacting with him. I haven't really talked to him much, but I'm excited to flesh this out. Yeah,
we connected on social media, and he's a pretty cool guy. And he's going to do a whole bunch of, he's going to document the whole thing. So he's going to have a whole bunch of data, a whole bunch of content, a whole bunch of interaction along the way. So I think that kicks off in September.
Nice.
That's
cool.
That'd be super cool.
Speaking of podcasts, after this, I'm recording a podcast with Jay Horley, who is a client of mine. He's like one of the top level Brazilian Jiu-jitsu guys for his weight and age. I think he's like ranked number 1 or 2 in the world right now for his stats. And he's type 1 diabetic. He does all of it with keto. So like we've been, like he still has to take insulin, obviously, but like insulin bolus dose is minimized. And he's had several tournaments. He's got his biggest tournament in November. But we've been like manipulating his macros and like kind of peaking him as we would a prep to like make sure he makes weight. He competes at the under 84 kilograms and under category. But it's pretty cool, man. Like it's cool for me to see people and different athletes in different sports leveraging keto and just like wiping the floor with all these people that are like, oh, you got to have carbs. You got to have carbs. You know, it's pretty cool.
Wow, that is cool. Heck yeah.
So, and that'll be like, I haven't got the podcast with him talking about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Yesterday I had a podcast all about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm probably just going to take the gloves off and start doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Next thing you know, you'll be all in with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Well, I was telling him on the podcast yesterday, it's like, man, I want to do it. I've dabbled in it like casually with the crew here at the compound. We got mats and everything. And I haven't like totally jumped in because I know that when I do, I'm probably just going to be like, you know, just obsessed. And I don't want it to conflict with my bodybuilding endeavors because that's priority numero uno from an athletic standpoint for me. But Rigel, they've got like a 3 to 5 year class, so I want to get him into it.
Yeah, do it.
And I need to go, like I went in once before and they all seemed cool. Like the dojo seemed nice. So I wanted, cause we had Rigel in like swim lessons like a year ago and he really liked that, but it was like an hour and a half away to get there. It was ridiculous. But this is like in Fayetteville, so 25 minutes away, and they have like 4 classes a week for 3 to 5 age group. So I might be able to get him into that and like let him interact more with, you know, kids his age. And like, I think I was talking on the podcast yesterday, this makes a lot of sense. Like you would appreciate this. You never really did any team sports, or did you? Well,
it's funny you speaking of this because when my brother and I were kids, our parents put us into karate lessons. So we were doing hands-on karate. My dad was in it too. So it was like a family endeavor and it was awesome. We learned a lot of discipline, respect, self-control, you know, interaction with other kids. There's a lot of cool core values that you build during doing stuff like that.
Yeah. And I feel like bodybuilding has done that for me, like discipline, consistency, hard work. But like it's like team sports, I did them. Like I did baseball, basketball, but I never really enjoyed them. And they would frustrate me. Like I could be just hustling and then I'd have a team member that was like slacking. And it was just like, you have to be a team unified effort. And if you got somebody that's like a bad apple, it just poisons the well. So I didn't like that aspect of team sports. I like having a team. Like I get that, you know, being the leader of this team and having that kind of camaraderie, but like I didn't get that in sports necessarily. And then bodybuilding is on the complete opposite end of the spectrum. Like you're just, you know, independent, solo, you're up against you every single day. You reap what you sow, but like there's not really a team element at all with bodybuilding.
True.
You're just in the trenches, you know, in the darkness.
If you slack, there's no one picking up the slack.
Yeah. But like I was talking yesterday on this podcast and he made a good point. He's like, cause he did like high school wrestling and he's like with wrestling, with jiu-jitsu, it's an individual sport. Like if you fail, it's because you messed up. Like you can't point the finger at anybody else, but it's got a very strong team component because you're learning these skills and grappling with all the members on your team. So like if you win, it's because they help prepare you to develop those skills. So it's kind of like you're getting the best of both worlds. You get the individual sport. You can't point the finger and blame anybody else if you fail, but you get like the team camaraderie because like they're helping you build yourself up and vice versa. So it kind of like opened my eyes to that functionality of it. I'm like, man, that'd be perfect for Rigel. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, that's a pretty great analogy.
So we'll see. I might pull a trigger and get him involved with that. And if he doesn't, it'd be cool if like I started doing it too and we just like learned together and grappled. You know? But I need somebody bigger than Rigel to roll with. So you ought to do it too.
Okay, all right.
All right. We're going to compete against each other in 2027. So we'll be in a bulk together 26. So let's just grapple in 2026, build up the hype for 2027's face-off. You know?
We got to get some grappling content out there.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good. Chip, we may have to bring out all the MMA stuff again, man.
That's good.
So that's the plan.
Awesome.
That's the plan.
Always thinking of something.
Always. What else we got on the pipeline, man? How much... I got a podcast in a little bit here, so probably cutting it short here soon. How long have we been rocking, Chip?
33 minutes.
33 minutes. That's pretty good.
Pretty good. A little short side, but pretty good. But all that to say, excited about Rocktown this weekend. We'll give y'all an update on how that goes when we record on Monday. And then when we record the work next week, we'll be talking about some things in the pipeline.
Got a couple little secrets coming forward.
Yeah.
Things in the works.
One thing that I don't think we've mentioned on the work is that maybe we have, I don't know, but Chip just finished all the revamped media content for the Savage system. So all of the 7 phases are now done, polished, and ready to rock, and they look slick.
Yeah, those are nice videos.
So
nice
now
work,
we're going to start, kudos to Chip. So now we're going to start doing all the missing appendix stuff, tackling posing first for those that are in prep or about to be in prep or wanting to highlight posing. We're going to start tackling all the appendix videos around the different divisions and classes and things to look for with the posing. So yeah, that's coming soon. Coming soon.
Always a million things going on.
Always. We need to hire somebody. More people. More people. All right, that's a wrap. Gregorone.
All right.
Toodaloo.
Adios.